सदाशिव समारंभाम
सदाशिव समारंभाम
शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम
शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम
मदाचार्य पर्यंताम
अस्मदाचार्य पर्यंताम
वंदे गुरु परंपराम
वंदे गुरु परंपराम
वसुदेव सुतं देवम
वसुदेव सुतं देवम
चाणूरमर्दनम
कंस चाणूरमर्दनम
देवकी परमानंदम
देवकी परमानंदम
कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुम.
कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुम.
So we'll start with same.
श्रेयो
Yeah, no, second, yeah, Shreya. And then at the end, we should remember to close with with Arjun's conviction. So that's our conviction. So I think that's the habit I have when I read, but we can do the same thing. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat
श्रेयो हि ज्ञान अभ्यासा
jnanat dhyanam vishishyate
ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते
ध्यानात् कर्म फल त्यागः
ध्यानात् कर्म फल त्यागः
त्यागात् शांति अनंतरम
त्यागः शांति
anantaram. So that's the summary of Bhagavad Gita. But then Arjuna started with a prayer, which is the 7th shlok of 2nd chapter, and he ends in the 72nd shlok, 73rd shlok of 18th chapter. So that, and all in the between, there's an opening and closing, and in between the whole knowledge is transferred. So we'll say 7th shlok of 2nd chapter. And this is Arjun's prayer, and we can imagine that we are sitting in that chariot. Below low part of the chariot, Bhagavan is sitting a little higher, and Arjun is here in Vishad. That's what we are not in Vishad, but we are looking for Bhagavan to give us the guidance. So it's Arjun's prayer, which is our prayer today. Karpanya dosho upahat swabhavah
कार्पण्य दोषो उपहत स्वभावः
prachami tvam dharma sammud chetah
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढ़ चेता
yat shreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme
यच्छ्रेयस्यां निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
शिष्यस्ते अहम शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम.
शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्.
So Arjun is saying that Bhagavan, I am your Shishya. I have come to your Sharan, your shelter. So tell me what is Shreyas, because I am confused about my Swadharma or Dharma, Dharma Sammudha Cheta. So I'm just deluded about my duty at this juncture. So I'm in your shelter, I'm in your Sharan. So it Shreyas Yas Nishchitam Puruhitan. Whatever Shreyas is, please tell me that. Shadimam Tvam Prapanna. Teach me. Shadimam means teach me, I'm your student. That's where the teaching flows. And that's what when we say Sahana Vavtu Sahana Bhunaktu, typically it is said when the teaching is done. That comes from Upanishad. The purpose is that, yes, that once we surrender, once we have that Shraddha in the teaching, in the Guru, then the teaching flows. So Arjuna has realized that I have to surrender. I have to just give up to give the responsibility to Bhagwan rather than I'm thinking. So that's where Gita starts. So we are on 6th chapter, and last week we saw that Bhagwan gave the attributes of a yogi, which is we'll just repeat that, which is Jnana Vigyan Taptatma. This person is transformed knowledge into wisdom, and typically that's what we know. When the wisdom comes, you get the fulfillment also in any field of life. Of course, we are talking about spiritual, but any other field of life also. Once we have the wisdom, you are fulfilled. You know exactly what you're doing. So that's the fulfillment. Then very steady this person, and he is master of senses, which Bhagwan always, entire Bhagavad Gita is very focused on sense control. And this chapter is all about that, right? Atma Sanyam Yoga or Dhyan Yoga. Then we'll see last Bhagavan says this person sees the same in earth, stone, and gold. We'll read the shlok. And well-wishers and critics, this person look at them as same, equal eye. No rag dvesh. That's bottom line is that Bhagavad Gita says no rag dvesh. No rag dvesh means samata. Likes and dislike means asamata, which is non-equanimity. But when the likes and dislikes are gone, and that is equanimity, samata. So whole goal of Bhagavad Gita or any other teaching is that we have to have an equal eye. Or samat buddhi, samata, many names are there, but here Bhagavan says sama buddhi. So we'll go to shlok number 7. We'll just read and then we'll go to 8 actually. So number 8 and then move forward. So we finished at 8, but we'll repeat 8, right? Oh. This is 8, shlok number 8 of the 6th chapter. Those who, some people like maybe joining a little late, so let me. Yeah. So it is the 8th shlok of 6th chapter, and 6th chapter is called Atma Sanyam Yoga or Dhyan Yoga. Some people call it Dhyan Yoga, but I personally feel it is Atma Sanyam is better, because so people like us who are not reached to that stage of where we can say, oh, we can, this is Dhyan Yoga. Let's call it Atma Sanyam, is self-control. So we shlok number 8 of 6th chapter. And 6th chapter again, so Atma Sanyam, there is a stage, right? Atma Sanyam comes from Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi means all the samskar kshay. I mean, purposely we use those terms. So Chitta Shuddhi means all previous impressions in the mind, they have to nullify. And then it will be like Tulsidas ji says, Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raja Nijamana Mukra Sudhar. I'm Hanumanji, I'm doing you pratana. So before that, Guru ke pranam karte hain ki my heart, which is like a mirror, which has dirt, clean that. Once my heart is clean, then I can see Bhagwan's image. So similarly, that is Chitta Shuddhi. And Chitta Shuddhi will come only way, according to Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta, the only way to get Chitta Shuddhi is Gyan and Karma. And that's the reason 2nd chapter and 3rd chapter are very important, because through 2nd and 3rd chapter, we know how to do Chitta Shuddhi. Once the Chitta Shuddhi is done, then Atma Sanyam starts. It's like that. So now 8th shlok of 6th chapter. Jnana Vijnana Traptatma.
Jnana Vijnana Traptatma.
Kutastho Vijitendriyah.
Kutastho Vijitendriyah.
Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi.
Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi.
Samaloshtam Shkanchanah.
समलोष्टाश्मकांक्षणः. और ज्ञान विज्ञान से तृप्त है अंतःकरण जिसका, तथा विकार रहित है स्थिति जिसकी, और अच्छी प्रकार जीती हुई है इंद्रियां जिसकी, तथा समान है मिट्टी पत्थर और सुवर्ण जिसके, वह योगी युक्त अर्थात भगवत की प्राप्ति वाला है, ऐसा कहा जाता है.
Until Sripal comes, I'll read it. The yogi who is satisfied with knowledge and wisdom, who remains unshaken, who has conquered the senses, to whom a lump of earth, stone, and gold are the same, is said to be a realized one.
Right. So we saw in the previous chapter there was a shlok. Ammane gavi hastini shuni shvapakecha pandita samdarshina. There also Bhagavan says that one who sees all these people, like in the society, not also elephant, cow, a human being, or a person who is uncultured, that is pandita samdarshina. Here, there Bhagavan talked about some sentient. Here is talking about insentient things, which so Bhagavan is saying. So first is Jnana Vijnana Traptatma. That means Jnana Vijnana Traptatma, we can say like these are the term. A lot of time people discuss what is Jnana, and we talked last time that I know that sound travels, and then we do an experiment, and I know, oh, this is the way sound travels. So once that Jnana is come to Anubhav, it becomes Vijnana. So now there is no doubt remaining. And that's why Bhagavan is saying Jnana Vigyan Traptatma. Once you know, oh yeah, this works, then you're satisfied. So that's what and for example, somebody tells, do this like this, or rabdi, or rasmalai. But unless you eat it, you don't know. Somebody can say, oh, there is a white color, there is a little kind of round things in the milk, sweet. But yeah, but unless I eat it, once I eat, I know what rasmalai is. So that is Gyan. And then the second part, Bhagavan says, Kutastho. He's very firm in doing his thing, sadhana, basically. Like anvil. The example, Kutas means anvil, where the anvil is used by blacksmith. It's very firm, and then they can use anvil to shape the iron, the hot iron. So that's what anvil. And then Vijitendriya. That is very important. Like now, Bhagavan is coming to sense control. Who has mastered his sense organs. Jitendriya. Indriya means sense organs, and Vijitendriya, properly. And again, the same thing. I know when to use these sense organs. If I don't have to see something, it's in my control that I don't see. Or if I don't have to hear something, it's in my control. Ears are in my control not to hear. Of course, you will hear. Ear has no wisdom. Right? There is an ear, invisible ear in the mind, basically. That acts. But even if I hear something, I don't react. Means that I have a control over that. So all these sense organs, this person, Vijitendri. Actually, हमारा जो जैन ट्रेडिशन है, उसका नाम ही इसी से आया है, जिन. जो जैन हमारे मुनि हैं, they are like in sadhana में, austerity और tapas और penance में, they do some extreme tapas also. And that's where they say that when they conquered all the senses, they conquered all the desires, they conquered all the weaknesses, then they become jinn. And that's where the word Jan has come from, jinn. Exactly what this Bhagavan says, Jitendriya. The one who is Jitendriya is a jinn, and who is a jinn, that becomes a Jan tradition. That's where the name Jan tradition has come from. Then Bhagavan says, Sam Loshtashma Kanchana. So there are three things here. Losht means the lump of clay, or lump of clay, which is like dirt. जैसे हम बोलते हैं, this is like a dirt. इसमें तो कुछ है नहीं. Then Ashma. Ashma means Agni. Or sorry, yeah. Ashma means a stone, piece of stone. And then Losht means clay or dirt. And तीसरा है Kanchan, means gold. So this person sees the same, but again, last time also we saw that ये मतलब नहीं है इसका कि इस योगी का या ये सन्यासी का, ये सन्यासी की और ये योगी की बात हो रही कि he or she doesn't care about these things. This person knows. That's why भगवान ने mention किया है कि this person knows कि dirt की क्या value है, stone की क्या value है, and gold की क्या value है. That, and then only he sees them same. That is the message here. अबे जैसे कुछ लोग होते हैं कि हमें इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं, इसको समझ में आता है, इसको ये समझ में आता है कि ये गोल्ड है. अगर किसी के पास गोल्ड है तो, बट it doesn't impact him. हमें जैसे if I lose, suppose I have a piece of stone at home and I lose it, I feel, oh यार कोई बहुत अच्छा stone लेके कहीं से आया था, गुम गया, थोड़े दिन दुखी होंगे. But if I lose a gold chain, or if I lose a gold ring, then for months I'll be upset, or maybe years, that oh, I lost a gold chain somewhere, because that value I carry in my mind. But this person is, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I had that, I lost it, that's fine. So what? And that's what Bhagavan is saying. Some means that equanimity. It's not just like a story. I think I'm sure everybody has heard that story, very famous, that this guy who is a yogi and his wife, they were both spiritual practitioner. And उसको लगा कि हम दोनों ये सम लोष्टा कांचना, हम लोगों के लिए तीनों बराबर है सब. एक बार वो लोग जा रहे थे, and the husband was walking a little ahead of wife, she was behind, and he saw on the road there was a gold some gold chain was there. So he said, oh, there's a gold. So what he did, it took like some sand and put it on that and covered it. And by the time wife reached, she said, what are you doing here? बोला नहीं कुछ नहीं ऐसे. बोला no, you were doing something, right? What you were doing? He said नहीं कुछ नहीं. फिर भी क्या हुआ? तो उसने कहा बताना पड़ेगा. उसने कहा कि there was a gold chain lying on the street, so I just covered it with sand. So she said, why did you do that? He said, I thought कि तुम पीछे से आ रही हो, महिलाओं को गोल्ड ज्यादा पसंद है, तो कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि तुम्हें गोल्ड दिख जाए तो हमारी सारी साधना, we are practicing, and then you will find a gold chain and all the practice will be disturbed. तो वो हंस दी. उसने कहा कि अच्छा, तो तुम्हें अभी भी सोना सोना दिखता है और मिट्टी मिट्टी दिखती है, सोने के ऊपर मिट्टी डाली तो तुम्हें फर्क नहीं रहा था, मुझे तो नहीं आ रहा था. तो दैट मीन्स तुम अपनी चिंता करो. दैट्स व्हाट वी डू, कि हम लोग भी दूसरों की चिंता करते हैं कि दूसरे को सोना दिख रहा है, मैं अपनी चिंता. सो हमें अपनी चिंता करनी चाहिए. दैट्स व्हाट भगवान इज सेइंग, सम लोस्ट कांचना, एंड दिस पर्सन इज भगवान सेइंग. एंड देन मित्र शत्रु बोथ आर सेम फॉर दिस पर्सन. तो कबीरदास जी का बड़ा प्यारा दोहा है, निंदक नीरे राखिए आंगन कुटी छवाए, बिन पानी साबुन बिना निर्मल करे सुभाए. तो तुलसी कबीरदास जी कहते हैं कि क्रिटिसाइज करने वाले को, वो तो कहते हैं आंगन में अपने रखिए, संभाल के रखिए, सजा के रखिए, मिलिए उनसे, क्योंकि वो आपको शुद्ध करते हैं. दे विल टेल यू अगर कोई वीकनेस आपकी, उसने बोला अगर है तो आप सुधार लो, नहीं है तो दैट्स ओके, बट दिस पर्सन इज हेल्पफुल. बिन पानी साबुन बिना, जैसे वो कह रहे हैं कि बिना और पानी और साबुन के भी आपके हाथ साफ हो जाएंगे, ऐसे ये जो क्रिटिक्स होते हैं, ये लोग आपकी मदद करते हैं. सो दैट इज अ पॉजिटिव attitude towards the whole world. So that because the person is about likes and dislike, राग द्वेष है ही नहीं, तो उसको कुछ खराब लगता ही नहीं है, बल्कि इट इज हेल्प कि आपने जो है मेरे पास कुछ अगर था भी कमजोरी तो आपने बता दी. So that's what that chapter. Now we'll go to the 9th shlok. 9th, 10th and 11th, 12th we do the meditation. We'll do that, right? But let's read the 9th shlok, which is a continuation of 8th and 9th. सुरन्मित्राय उदासीनं
सुधृन्मित्रायुदासीनं
मध्यस्थ द्वेष बंधुषु
बंधुषु
साधुष्वपि च पापेषु
समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते. और जो पुरुष सुहृद, मित्र, वैरी, उदासीन, मध्यस्थ, द्वेषी और बंधुगणों में तथा धर्मात्माओं में और पापियों में भी समान भाव वाला है, वह अति श्रेष्ठ है. तो सुहृद का ऑफ कोर्स स्वार्थ रहित, सबका हित करने वाला, उदासीन, पक्षपात रहित, और मध्यस्थ, दोनों ओर की भलाई चाहने वाला. इन सबको जो समान समझे.
He who has equal regard for the good-hearted friends, foes, indifferent, neutral, hateful relatives, righteous and unrighteous, he excels.
Yeah, so it is extension of the previous shlok. Again, same some equanimity. He doesn't matter person is a friend or foe or critical or praising. This person is same. So that's it's just extension of that. So we'll go to the 10th shlok, because that's where now the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, 14th is the meditation practice, which we do. So we'll see how much time we have today. Otherwise, next time we'll read each shlok and do what Bhagwan is saying, and that's exactly the dhyan is. But we'll read each shlok, right? Yogi yunjit satatatma.
योगे युञ्जीत सततात्मा.
आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः.
आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः.
एकाकी यत चित्तात्मा.
एकाकी यत चित्तात्मा.
निराशीर अपरिग्रहः.
निराशीर परिग्रह. इसलिए उचित है कि जिसका मन और इंद्रियों सहित शरीर जीता हुआ है, ऐसे वासना रहित और संग्रह रहित योगी अकेला ही एकांत स्थान में स्थित हुआ निरंतर आत्मा को परमेश्वर के ध्यान में लगावे.
Let the yogi remaining in solitude, alone, seated, with mind and body control, constantly practice union with the self, free from desire and possession.
Yeah, so very clear. This is the starting of the meditation practice. So Bhagavan is saying that this is the condition for the meditation. That of course, I mean, yat chittatma means by practice you have chitta shuddhi. Again, we talked about that, right? Your mind is clean of all the negativities, all previous. Oh, rahenge, but that's the reason we have to do Sandhya Mandaram 3 times a day and meditation every day. That's the reason we do every day, right? These kind of things. But as you do, it progresses. Then the quality of the nirashi, desireless. सबसे बड़ी समस्या, the Arjun ने question we gave third chapter में. I think there is a question we'll answer today and that covers that. What is the problem? ये सब करने के बाद भी what forces a person to continue to do this? And Bhagavan says, Kam esh krodh esh, rajoguno samadbhava, desire. Desire is the seed of everything. So that's why Bhagavan is nirashi. ये आशा जो लेके, अगर आप meditation भी आशा लेके करोगे कि मुझे भी शांति मिलेगी, then there is a problem here. Because then we will talk about it. It's a very, these 4-5 shlokas are, it's like people have, if you look at some people who work on transcendental meditation or different kind of, they have written commentaries on these and use these for meditation practices. Aparigrahi, sangrah rahit. This is a very difficult condition for grahast. Very, very difficult. भगवान ने इतनी बड़ी, अब आप वो कह रहे हैं कि मेडिटेशन शुरू करने के पहले ही बोल रहे हैं, कितना मुश्किल है. अपरिग्रही. So aparigraha means, is literal translation is non-possession. But it is not possible to have. We still, what Bhagavan wants to say in Gita, and very clear that not being attached to the possessions, that is aparigraha. जो जरूरत है वो तो रखना ही है, लेकिन how much you are attached to those things, that is parigraha. So aparigraha means non-attachment to the things, right? And then Bhagavan says ekaki, अकेला रहने की भी आदत होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि मेडिटेशन के लिए तो सबसे बड़ी तो रिक्वायरमेंट ये है कि you should be able to stay alone. अभी हम लोगों की आदत है कि we always have people around, and then कुछ जैसे आप देखिए मंदिर में जब कोई ऐसा प्रोग्राम होगा, मंदिर में या कहीं भी जहाँ नाच गाना हो रहा है और भजन चल रहे हैं और कुछ जन्माष्टमी हो रही है और लाइट लगी हुई है, तो हजारों लोग आ जाएंगे, हजारों, मतलब क्योंकि सबको मजा, भीड़ भाड़ में सबको मजा आता है. बट इफ यू से कि भाई मंदिर में 4 घंटे के लिए मेडिटेशन होगा, कोई किसी से बात नहीं करेगा, जस्ट आइए बैठिए, तो कोई नहीं आएगा. वो करेंगे, बोले दो ये बैठ के करेंगे क्या? इज दैट डिफिकल्ट. बट भगवान इसे एकाकी, ये प्रैक्टिस होनी चाहिए. अभी मेडिटेशन अभी शुरू ही नहीं किया भगवान ने, अभी इतनी बड़ी बड़ी कंडीशन रख दी है, विच इज, ही इज वेरी राइट. ही इज अ योगी राज, भगवान कृष्ण बोल रहे हैं, मतलब द मास्टर ऑफ ऑल द योगीज. सततम, देन उसके बाद सततम आत्मानम युंजीत, फिर उसमें भगवान, सततम भगवान का ध्यान बना रहे हैं. अभी शुरू नहीं किया उन्होंने, अभी आगे बताएंगे मेडिटेशन. इसके पहले उन्होंने ये शर्त रख दी है. These are the 3 requisites. So unless, and this is not going to happen in one day, but we have to constantly do that. That's what the message is like. So we'll read 11 to 14. All these shlokas are about meditation. So we'll go to the next one. Next one, he's giving the steps which we do that. Anyway, we do at the end. शुचो देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य,
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य,
स्थिर आसनम आत्मनः,
स्थिरमासनमात्मनः,
नात्युच्छ्रितम नातिनीचम,
नात्युच्छ्रितम नातिनीचम,
चैलाजिन कुशोत्तरम,
शैलाजिन कुशोत्तरम. कैसे कि शुद्ध भूमि में कृषा मृगशाला और वस्त्र हैं, उपरोपरि जिसके ऐसे अपने आसन को न अति ऊंचा और न अति नीचा स्थिर स्थापन करके.
Yeah, again, we can read the second shloka also. Naveen bhai, you can read together, right? ततैग्रानं मनः कृत्वा,
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा,
यत् चित्तेन्द्रियः क्रियः,
यत् चित्तेन्द्रिया क्रियः,
उपविशासने युञ्ज्यात्,
उपविशासने युञ्ज्यात्,
योग आत्मन आत्मविशुद्धये
योगमात्म विशुद्धये, और उस आसन पर बैठकर तथा मन को एकाग्र करके चित्र और इंद्रियों की क्रियाओं को वश में किया हुआ अंतःकरण की शुद्धि के लिए योग का अभ्यास करें।
13 also. समम काय शिरोग्रीवम
समम काय शिरोग्रीवम
धारयन्न चलम स्थिरः
धारयन्न चलम स्थिरः
संप्रेक्ष्य नासिकाग्रम स्वम
संप्रेक्ष्य नासिकाग्रम स्वम
दिशश्चानव अवलोकयनम।
दिशश्चानवलोकयन्। उसकी विधि इस प्रकार है कि काया, शिर और ग्रीवा को समान और अचल धारण किए हुए दृढ़ होकर अपने नासिका के अग्रभाग को देखकर अन्य दिशाओं को न देखता हुआ
प्रशांतात्मा विगतभिः
प्रशांतात्मा विगतभिः
ब्रह्मचारी व्रते स्थितः
ब्रह्मचारी व्रते स्थितः
मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तो
मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तो
युक्त आसीत मत्परः।
युक्त आसीत मत्परः, और ब्रह्मचर्य के व्रत में स्थित रहता हुआ भय रहित तथा अच्छी प्रकार शांत अंतःकरण वाला और सावधान होकर मन को वश में करके मेरे में लगे हुए चित्त वाला और मेरे परायण हुआ स्थित हो गए।
Now you can read all.
Yeah, I'll read 11 to
14.
14.
Yes.
Yeah, 15, 11 to 15, right?
And you can read little slow so that everybody
11 to 14.
11 to 14. Yeah. These are basically the steps Bhagavan is defining, which we do anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Having established in a clean place a firm seat of his own, neither too high nor too low, with cloth, skin, and kusha grass thereon. There, having made a mind one-pointed, with the functions of the mind and senses controlled, seated on the seat, let him practice yoga for self-purification, holding body, head, neck erect, still and firm, gazing at the tip of the nose and not looking around, serene-minded, fearless, firm in the vow of brahmacharya, the mind control, thinking on me, let him sit, seeking union with me as the supreme.
Yeah. So if you observe, we'll do it then. We do exactly the same. And I had designed my meditation practice, which we do based on these 4 shlokas. So Bhagavan is saying you should have a firm asana. It's simple asana. Kushagra likha hai, pehle zamane mein hota tha, but anyway, clean seat he's saying. Sitting is straight, erect. It could be on the desk or chair or on the floor. And then what, like the 14th shlok, he says that start focusing gaze at the tip of the nostril, and that's what we do. He gave only one sense organ, assuming that Arjun knows and we know. So we start for the nasika, because that's the first sense organ which connects us to the grossest element, Prithvi, and then we do tongue, and then eyes, skin, ear, right? That order. So that's where the whole 5 senses work. And then he says prashantatma, shantman, apne aap shant. That's what, when we do meditation, when these senses are shut down, automatic man shant ho jata hai, and then you become prashant. शांत जब सब प्रैक्टिस करते करते this भगवान has never said कि आप जंगल में जाके करो ये. He never said. He said you find a nice place. So the ideally that we should have a practice, even if there are 1,000 people around, I can just close with my eye and do this, and I'm done. I'm shant, and once I'm shant, Bhagavan says, then the bhaya will go away. The whole problem is there is always a fear of something happening around, the anxiety. Why means anxiety? The anxiety will, because mind is quiet, anxiety is gone. And then brahmachari vrate. That's what we say Gayatri Mantra. Brahmachari means Brahma Vichar. So that's what we say Gayatri Mantra, or anything. We can say even Om. And Bhagavan says Mana Sanyami. Now man is in the control, like mind. And Bhagavan Yukt Asit Matras. Yukt Asit Matras. Stay in that as long as possible. Mere Parayan. Obviously, जब ये प्रैक्टिस करते हैं तो जो हमारी आत्मा है, that we say like from all senses go to Atma, that is Bhagwan basically. And that's meditation. That's what Bhagwan is explained to Arjuna. So we'll read 15 and 16 shlokas, their continuation, which talks about, see now he has told the practice, but now he is going to tell the lifestyle to continue this practice. प्रैक्टिस उन्होंने बता दी मेडिटेशन कैसे करना है, लेकिन मेडिटेशन होगा कब ये बता रहे भगवान 15, 16, 17 श्लोक. तो भगवान is saying युञ्जनेवं सदात्मानं
युञ्जनेवं सदात्मानं
योगी नियतमानसः
योगी नियतमानसः
शान्तिं निर्वाण परमां
शान्तिं निर्वाण परमां
मत संस्थाम अधिगच्छति.
मत संस्थामधिगच्छति. इस प्रकार आत्मा को निरंतर परमेश्वर के स्वरूप में लगाता हुआ स्वाधीन मन वाला योगी मेरे में स्थित रूप परमानंद पराकाष्ठा वाली शांति को प्राप्त होता है.
And he's saying कि अगर ये प्रैक्टिस तुमने कर ली तो क्या होगा परिणाम? मत संस्थानम, मेरे में जो शांति, मेरे में मतलब भगवान तो शांति स्वरूप है. दैट्स व्हाट ही इज सेइंग कि आपको जब वो शांति अनुभव हो जाती है तो समझ लो आपको भगवान अनुभव हो गए. दैट्स इट. देयर इज नथिंग अदर देन व्हाट ज्ञान विज्ञान. इट्स लाइक दैट. भगवान ने निर्वाणम वर्ड कई जगह यूज किया भगवत गीता में. एंड वी टॉक्ड अबाउट निर्वाण इज अ वेरी वेरी पॉपुलर वर्ड. यहाँ तो पानी भी आता है, निर्वाणा वाटर, बड़ा फेमस है निर्वाणा वाटर, कि आप पानी पियो तो आपको शांति मिलेगी, इसलिए उसका नाम रखा है निर्वाणा वाटर. सो निर्वाण का मतलब ही शांति होता है. निर्वाण का मतलब होता है ट्रांजैक्शंस आर क्लोज्ड. निर्वाण, वाण मीन्स वाणिज्य वर्ड, कॉमर्स, राइट? देयर इज सम ट्रांजैक्शन हैपनिंग. Nirvana means no transactions are closed. That means what is transaction? We are taking birth again and again and again and again. We are born. So इसलिए बुद्ध ने जब समाधि लग जाती तो हम बोलते हैं निर्वाण. निर्वाण means the पुनर्जन्म stopped. The whole transaction stopped. तो भगवान से रहे कि that you can achieve by doing this. ये जो जन्म मरण का चक्कर है ये खत्म हो जाएगा, ये सब निर्वाण हो जाएगा. निर्वाण means all everything, all the transactions are closed. And शांति में अधिगच्छति. Basically निर्वाण हो गया तो शांति होगी. So we'll read 16 and 17 which now भगवान is challenging now. ये मैंने बता तो दिया है, लेकिन ये तभी होगा जब ये दो 16 and 17 में जो कंडीशन ये फॉलो करोगे. That's very important for day to day practice. नात्यश्नस्तस्तु योगोस्ति
नात्यश्न तस्तु योगी योगोस्ति
न चैकान्तं मनश्नतः
नैचैकान्तमनश्नतः
न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
And we read 17 also. युक्ताहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्न अवबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
परंतु हे अर्जुन, यह योग न तो बहुत खाने वाले का सिद्ध होता है और न बिल्कुल न खाने वाले का, तथा न अति शयन करने के स्वभाव वाले का और न अत्यंत जागने वाले का ही सिद्ध होता है. यह दुखों का नाश करने वाला योग तो यथा योग्य आहार और विहार करने वाले का तथा कर्मों में यथा योग्य चेष्टा करने वाले का और यथा योग्य शयन करने तथा जागने वाले का ही सिद्ध होता है.
Yeah, now you can read.
I'll read from 15, which we didn't read.
Yeah, right.
Thus, constantly seeking union with the self, the yogi, with his mind control, attains peace, culminating in supreme bliss, which abides in me. Verily, yoga is not for him who eats too much or does not eat at all, nor for him who sleeps too much or keeps awake, O Arjun. And to him who is regulated in eating and recreation, regulated in action, who is regulated in sleeping and waking, yoga becomes the destroyer of sorrow.
So यहाँ पर योग में भगवान says we have to take ध्यान yoga means meditation. So in simple terms, so in these two shlokas, Bhagwan is challenging our lifestyle. ये बहुत इसीलिए नवीन भाई को बहुत पसंद दिया है, सबको पसंद होना ये श्लोक तो हमें रोज पढ़ना चाहिए. तो एक्चुअली दिस श्लोक्स आर इंस्ट्रक्शंस बेसिकली. सो व्हाट भगवान इज सेइंग in the 17th 16th 17th extension of 16. So Bhagavan is saying ki yukta ahar, yukta means moderation and discipline, we can say. Moderation comes from discipline. I mean, unless you are disciplined, you cannot be moderate. Moderation is a product of discipline. You cannot just say I am moderate. You have to discipline something. So that's why Bhagavan says the one who practices this moderation and this discipline in what? In three things: Ahar and Vihar. So Ahar means eating, and Vihar is recreation. That is one activity we all do the whole day. Like the whole day we do recreation. It's not just vacation, but I take a break. I just want to enjoy. I want to see the TV. That's Vihar, recreation. And Ahar, of course, we eat. So Bhagavan says you have to have that discipline and moderation in Ahar and Vihar, which is very, very big challenge. That's where we lose, right? We just, if I'm watching TV, वो एक हमारे फ्रेंड है, उसकी वाइफ बोल रही थी, अरे ये जब प्रोग्राम फुटबॉल मैच खत्म होता है, it's like 3.5 hours he watches the entire game, and after that he'll watch 1.5 hour post game show also. Because you're sitting and watching the post game show also. So that's where our mind is like that. Mind is looking for always recreation because it just enjoys, right? And then food we eat. जैसे हमारे तो कहावत भी है कि मानस ने परीक्षा खाटले ने पाट ले. मतलब आदमी के धैर्य की परीक्षा होती है, the patience की और I mean control की, when you sit for eating and when you're sick. But right now it's eating. So that's a धैर्य, because if you get a lot of things you eat. अभी आप देखिए प्लेट कभी शादी में जाते हैं तो लोग वो बफे में जाते हैं तो भर लेते हैं कि यार भर लो पहले, फिर खाएंगे कि नहीं खाएंगे बाद में देखेंगे, पहले भर तो लो प्लेट, एंड फिर भर लेते हैं तो खाते भी हैं. So that's what Bhagavan is saying, moderation, discipline in Ahar and Vihar. The second is saying very challenging, which there is a question today, which second one will be addressed there, but very, very challenging. Bhagavan has given that condition. Yukta cheshta karmasu. कर्मों में जो हम कर्म करते हैं उसमें भी आपकी चेष्टा is moderated discipline, which is one of the toughest thing. That the entire कर्म योग जो chapter है third, that was based on this, that how much control I have over my actions. And the third condition Bhagavan says, in sleeping and waking. I mean, you sleep what is required. It's not that आप आजकल तो like workaholic, that I'm especially young people, they have a lot of work, and I mean there's a whole society is designed wrongly, but we pay the price for that because you don't sleep on time, you don't, I mean, and भगवान कह रहे हैं waking means अवबोध से. जब waking से मतलब सिर्फ आँख खोल के जागना नहीं है, you are aware when whatever you're doing, whatever activities you're doing, and sleeping properly, sleep, right? So Bhagavan is saying ये अगर discipline, just these three conditions are very stern and day-to-day life, right? And Bhagavan says, then this meditation becomes a source of shanti and remedy for the sorrow. आपके सारे दुख चले जाएंगे. देखिए अभी now when we read शास्त्र, it's very simple. हमेशा लोग बोलते हैं, किसी स्वामी जी को पूछा था किसी ने कि आप दुखी नहीं होते हो क्या, आपको दुख नहीं आते? उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, मुझे दुख भी आते हैं, लेकिन ओनली डिफरेंस कि मैं दुखी नहीं होता. दुख तो मेरे को भी आते हैं, दुख तो सबको आते हैं. We have lot of stories. Swami Ji's died of cancer, or my own Guruji, he died of arthritis, cancer उनको हुआ था. तो but I have seen him like he was always quiet. अपने बैठे रहते थे. Doctor said कि if the amount of pain he has because of arthritis, I mean people just cry in the hospital when they come, and he said हाँ भाई अभी है तकलीफ, ठीक है देखेंगे. That is moderation, that is discipline. तो भगवान is saying कि जब तक ये युक्त लाइफस्टाइल होगी तब तक ये ध्यान जो है, आप कितनी मेडिटेशन कर लो, हम लोग कर सकते हैं बैठ के. ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर सम फिजियोलॉजिकल बेनिफिट्स कुड बी देयर कि आप शांति से बैठे हुए, जबकि वो तो मजाक भी बनाते हैं कि अगर आप मेडिटेशन करोगे थोड़े दूसरों को शांति रहती है, यार ये आदमी बैठा तो है शांति से, घर में शांति है. तो दैट बेनिफिट कुड बी देयर, बट आपको अगर उसकी शांति लेनी है, then you have to follow these things. भगवान बड़ा challenging, and we can talk next time we'll meet, we'll talk. कुछ एक स्वामी जी उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा फॉर्मूला भी दिया. We'll talk next time when we meet. But that's what भगवान is saying in this श्लोक की आत्म संयम. इसी ये चैप्टर का नाम मुझे पसंद है आत्म संयम, because this is आत्म संयम. खाना, like युक्त आहार, food recreation, efforts in, we'll talk about, there is a question around that, which is karma yoga, and sleeping and waking also. We should have full, like if I am sleeping, I am completely slept. क्योंकि क्या होता है कि if you have more rajogun during the day, tamogun, then वैसे ही dream आते हैं, and we all know that. The dream only comes whatever we do during the day, or whatever. If sometimes we are depressed, then the dream will have the same thing. But अगर आप युक्त आहार विहार करेंगे, युक्त कर्म करेंगे, तो आपको जो है स्वप्न भी ऐसे आएंगे ही नहीं, और you will have a better sleep. And then because you're better in waking state also. Anyway, this is a very lot of discussion around that. We will talk next time. So we'll take this question which is related to the second one. So अभी एक दोहा है बहुत बहुत बढ़िया सा, कि ये ध्यान कैसे होता है, जो भगवान ने बताया एकाकी भी होना चाहिए, और तो चार मिले तो चर्चा, चार लोग मिलते हैं तो बातें होती है, और सत्संग भी कह सकते हैं, स्वाध्याय में कई लोग होते हैं. चार मिले तो चर्चा, दो मिले तो ज्ञान. जब सिर्फ दो होते हैं, तो श्रवणम में तो बहुत सारे लोग हो सकते हैं, 1000 लोग सुन रहे हैं यूट्यूब पे, कोई प्रवचन हो रहा है, तो चार मिले तो चर्चा, दो मिले तो ज्ञान. दो मीन्स जस्ट आप और शास्त्र है, या आप और गुरु है, दैट्स इट. दो ही लोग हैं जब. एंड व्हेन यू डू मननम, यू आर ओनली टू पीपल, योरसेल्फ एंड द टीचिंग. मननम, इसलिए श्रवणम में बहुत हो सकता है, मननम में दो लोग. तो दो मिले तो ज्ञान, चर्चा गई गया ज्ञान, बचा एक तो ध्यान. चर्चा भी चली गई और ज्ञान भी चला गया, दो भी चले गए, तो जब एक बचा वो ध्यान है. एंड दैट इज द गोल हियर. भगवान कह रहे हैं कि बचा एक तो ध्यान. तो एक बचना चाहिए. सब चर्चा चली गई, सब चीज, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड ध्यान. So we'll talk about this. Whole chapter is about that. We'll stop here and take that question which responds to the second one.